We got any citizen comments? Come on up.
Hello, me again, Stuart McLaren, Manchester citizen. I've got a public comment about public comments.
This ought to be good.
I appreciate that the amendment's being brought forward to align our codes with the new state law that passed in March. That law is pretty clear, House Bill 22. It requires that citizens be allowed to comment on any matter germane to the jurisdiction of the governing body. That would be like this board at this meeting. And it explicitly states that that right exists regardless of whether the topic is on the agenda or not.
Yes, sir.
And so the amendment being put through tonight, the one that's been voted yes on already, it removes the word relevant, but it still leaves in place the restriction to agenda items, which is the phrase that the state law says can't be used to limit the scope of public comment. So after this amendment passes, board chair or yourself could look at a citizen and say, that's not on the agenda, your time is up, and point to that ordinance's justification. So that's not really complying with the state law. It's just the same restriction with one word removed. The intent, to meet the intent of the ordinance, the language should reflect what the House Bill 22 actually says, that citizens can comment on any matter germane to the jurisdiction of the city regardless of whether it appears on the agenda. So I'd ask the board to consider whether the amendment as written now accomplishes what it says it does, because I believe it doesn't. So the language after removing the word relevant would read, during every board, committee, and commission meeting within the city government, there should be one time set aside on the agenda for citizens to comment on agenda items for that particular meeting. So that's how it reads with amended as proposed.
Can I ask you what version of the code you're looking at? What year it is?
24, it's not, the one from the website is like one behind, there's like one newer version on MTAS.
Yeah, and then they're always running a year behind. I'll check it, but
What does it currently say?
Well, I don't have that. I don't have the whole code book here, but what I can do is check and make sure. I think, and I'm not sure, but I think we already amended it before to take out the agenda part, and this was just a further cleanup just to make sure it was clear. But I promise you, I will check it. And then the board can do whatever they want to do.
But does the board, can I ask you, if you've seen what the amendment would do to the code, and if the code aligns with state law? You're Mr. Crossland, you're the sponsor of the.
I agree with what Attorney Johnson said, that I believe it does align with the state code, that we've cleaned up the other questionable parts in the past, and that relevant just further aligns it. The intent fully is any comment by any citizen.
Right, but does it read that?
I can't answer that because I don't have the code book in front of me, but I do agree with Attorney Johnson.
Do you plan to vote on this without having that in front of you?
Well, I mean, the resolution right here says you have the right to speak at a board and believe in the interest of the city of Manchester. That's what we're passing tonight.
Yeah, but it leaves in place a restriction to agenda items.
I don't think it leaves any restrictions. As a normal, we don't have a whole lot of comments, and we welcome everybody. And if there's something that we missed, as they said, we will go back and clean it up again, but we think we have it correct.
Has there been any analysis done with respect to how it would fit?
What do you mean analysis?
Like,
we're going to let you say anything you want. What else do you want me to
do? If
do?
the intent is to bring it into compliance, how do we know it brings it into compliance?
We're going to let you say whatever you want to.
But if that's not in the code.
We just said we're going to review the code to make sure we cleaned up the word agenda. We're passing a resolution tonight that says any relevant conversation you want to have during public comments, you can. That'll go into the code next time, right? I don't think
I'm just wanting to know.
What you're asking me.
Because from the code that I have, the latest one available to me, removing the word relevant and then reading the rest of it keeps the restriction to agenda items in place in the code.
And again, I told you I will go back and check if I will bring the code book with me next time. I will look at the resolutions we passed in the last year. So MTS doesn't update your code, the code book that's available to anybody for over a year. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we've already passed a resolution that got rid of the agenda part of it, okay? So yes, this resolution would further clarify the intent of the resolution, which is to follow the state law. But if it doesn't, I will be the first one to craft another resolution to make sure that we're following state law. If that answers your question.
It's.
Yeah, I guess I just don't understand why you would be voting on an amendment to
This is what we're
something that
voting
you're
on
not sure
tonight.
what it is.
Well, I thought I was sure what it
Yeah.
is, but I promised you I would look at it.
I mean, what we're voting
Again.
on tonight says, whereas the Tennessee legislature has further defined citizens' right to speak, and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen believe it is in the best interest of Manchester, Tennessee, certain amendments be adjusted through MC 1-111. And then it goes on to say that we are deleting the word relevant, okay? We've already deleted the agenda is what we believe. Now we've deleted the word relevant, which means that you're free to come and speak about anything you want in the city of Manchester.
Yeah, I get, it would make sense if I knew for sure that the
Well, then
agenda
go
items
back and do a little
restrictions would
research
be-
and come back to the next meeting
That's-
and let's do it again. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more public comments? About anything?